Hello everyone, John Maher here. It's Thursday 28th of August 2025 and this is your weekly Grass10 grazing management update on the dairy edge. It has been a disappointing week and the week gone by for grass growth and grass build-up. Unfortunately, the average farm cover has slipped back to closer to 700 when we should be 800 or higher. We grew as much as we ate in terms of we grew 46, demand is 47. That means a cover per livestock unit is about 235. The target for the 1st September would be over 300 for most farms. The diet has been made up of meal, some level of silage now, as growth has been a bit disappointing on many farms, and meal is at 4 kilos and grass is about 14 kilos. So as a result, when we look at the figures then for the week, growth only ranged between 30 in some of the southern counties, with some farms lower than that now, but that's the average for the kind of southern counties, and with some counties growing in excess of 70 more further north. The week ahead does bring some rainfall, and some rainfall this week to places that will improve growth. The predictions are going to rise now a little bit, into 40 for the southern counties and maybe higher if the rain comes, and some counties will still grow 70. The rainfall predictions range from about an inch in the south to 3 inches, further west, I suppose Clare being the highest. But it does bring a chance to try and get growth to increase. Dry matters this week were about 15% in Athenry, but mid-20s for more the southern area. So it's really about taking action now to try and increase grass supply in the farm. It's getting later to build up. We know once we get into late September, we will eat more than we grow. So with 2/3 of the farms kind of short of grass or behind where they should be, actions have to be taken. And the four things that they revolve around are fertilizer application now that some rainfall has arrived, keeping additional feed in. Remember that zero graze grass or silage would does a much better grass sparing effect than feeding extra meal. To reduce herd demand, so animals on the farm that don't have a future, where grass supply is low, where feed for the winter is short, those animals should be leaving the farm. Cows that have issues with cell count, lameness, knot and calf, surplus requirements, and that also applies to maybe surplus heifers as well. So a kind of a stock take of where we're at with feed, grass supply at the moment. Maybe TB test looming around the corner, where we are with our organic stocking rate in terms of kilograms of N per hectare, and if we're on the wrong side of that, then maybe adjustments should be made here. And of course, we need some rainfall for growth. But to go back on the main three, fertilizer. Now that rain has arrived, someone like me would have a wish of applying a compound fertilizer, but more preferably, I suppose, for people who don't have a P allowance, something with nitrogen and K in it to help get past the drought for those in southern counties. Not as critical in more northern counties, but if it's a good chance to spread a N plus K type product to get some K out. The soil stats for K don't ever read overly well when they should, as there are no limitations on the application of K. From a feed perspective, it makes more sense to try and get additional forage in, or get cows to additional land to try and keep grass supply where it should be. An awful lot of farms in the southern coastal counties are only a farm cover, 500 or thereabouts or less, somewhere in 600, but we need to be, heading to 800-900 as fast as we can, which leads to the next point. For the next 2 or 3 weeks, this is our chance to put grass on the farm. After that, day lengths get shorter, the year closes in, it gets harder. So massive effort to put in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Make use of your fertilizer allowance, bring in additional feed, reduce herd demand to try and inject grass supply on the farm. Once the grass supply starts to rise, you will grow more grass, and that principle still applies. So there are important things to do this week. If we take our feature farmer this week is Arthur Sweetman from Carrigan-Bannow, County Wexford. He is the dairy category winner of the Sustainable Grassland Farm of the Year. Have an event on his farm next week on Wednesday, 3rd of September, 11 a.m. in Wexford. Arthur's grass supply is around 500. Didn't grow hectic last week. We're on the farm this week. Reseeds are growing phenomenally well. It's kept the system alive. There's a diet of about 9-10 kilos of grass, 4 kilos of meal, 3 kilos of red clover silage that comes from the outblocks, a small bit of maize silage. And Arthur's plan is to apply, a bag of 27, 2.5, 5, now that some level of rainfall will arrive to help get that fertilizer working. Arthur has some multi-species swards as well that are doing quite well. They're reseeded this year. He's reseeded 23 acres after acquiring a little bit of extra land. In Arthur, he stocked 3 to the hectare. So in Arthur's situation, if he can get to 900,000 by late September, he will be thrilled. But the effort is going in now to try and inject grass supply on the farm or bring grass supply up on the farm. You look at the cows then and how they're performing. They're doing about 1.9 kilograms of milk solids at 4.65 fat and 3.9% protein. The herd is to be scanned as well, I suppose. So, it's all about those actions now in the next 2 or 3 weeks to put grass back onto the farm. The week is to remain broken for the week ahead. So this should bring growth to most farms in the country. For those farms who have been growing very, very well, the targets still remain at about 800, 900 of farm cover for early September, or 300 to 330 kilograms of dry matter per cow, and building, on from that. If you're stocked at lower about a cow to the acre or 2.5 cows per hectare, you're somewhere about the 750, 800 mark as a target cover for early September. So if you'd like to hear more then from the Grass10 team, subscribe to the weekly Grass10 newsletter, which is available on the Grass10 page on the Teagasc public website, and the link to the newsletter is also available in the description of this podcast. We'd like to thank all the people involved that support Grass10, AIB, Grass10 Agro, FBD, the Farmers Journal and Department of Agriculture. This has been your Grass10 update, and I will talk to you again next week, where we still hope growth will be good. Thank you.